Hey everybody, Michelangelo from Renaissance Building here. So I just wrapped up the day working on this pressure treated deck, and I was pretty bummed that the customer decided to go with pressure treated instead of something nicer like cedar or composite or even PVC. So I wanted to show you guys some of the things that I did to try to spice things up and try to redeem this deck in spite of the fact that it's only out of pressure treated. So let's take a look at what some of those things are.
Please allow me to adjust my pants so that I may dance the good time dance and put the onlookers and innocent bystanders into a trance.
So the first thing that I did to try to make this deck a little bit nicer was I hid the cuts in the end grain as much as possible. So I think you'll be able to see both of these things in this shot. But obviously the first thing I did was I put a skirt board on the steps. It's the first thing that you notice actually when you walk in from the front of the house. And it just dresses the thing up really nice. And the second thing that I did to hide the end grain and the cuts was that I put a picture frame around the perimeter. Some people call it a perimeter board. I call it a picture frame. Same thing. So I have 45 here, and this is just the natural, well, not natural, the factory finished edge of the decking. So I have cuts on the inside that, you'll see from certain angles, but for the most part, this is what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing a finished edge going around the entire perimeter. So that's the first thing that I did. Okay, so the second thing that I did was I hid the fasteners as much as possible. So as you can see on the deck board, you can't really see any screws compared to like a normal traditional pressure treated deck where they either screw it in on the face or they nail it in on the face. I didn't do that. What I did was I used this tool from Camo, and it's pretty slick. It's very affordable. So what it does is it spaces the boards evenly on both sides. So it just wraps around just like that. Put a screw on either side and you send it in like a toenail pretty much. And that way it gives you a nice clean finish, and you don't have to worry about screw holes or even splinters if your customer likes to walk around barefoot, or if you're doing a deck for yourself and you like to walk around barefoot. You don't have to worry about the splintering on the top. You don't have to look at the chalk lines until they wash away. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's a nice clean look, and I think it's a nicer finished product. Okay, so the last thing that I'll share with you that I did to try to spice things up was in regards to my posts for the handrail. Instead of just leaving them the way that they were with their sharper edges or even their weaned out edges that they'd come with typically not that pretty. So what I did was, first I routed it. I took a small round over bit and I went all the way to the bottom, and then I stopped short of the top a couple inches, and I think that gives that a nice detail where the round over bit kind of wanes off and then it goes to square for a little bit. And then I sanded it, which I'm not sure how often people are going to be touching the posts, but for now, if they do, it feels nice. And I also will do that when I put my drink rail on. I'm going to do pressure treated decking drink rail, and I'm going to sand that down, and that'll make it nice and smooth when people are walking by and they run their hands along it. So that's the third thing that I did that I think will set this deck apart from other pressure treated decks. I don't think a lot of people will take the time to put in these kind of details, but like I said, I really wanted to redeem the fact that it was just a pressure treated deck, and I wanted to make it something nicer, something that the customer will like and appreciate with some finer details. So let me know what you think about those tips, if you think they're cool, if you like the way they turned out, and drop a comment if you have some other ideas about how to spice up a typically boring deck. Thanks.